Hey, sports fans, this is Larry Eater. Each day during the World Championships, we'll provide a preview for you of the 2025 Tokyo World Outdoor Athletics Championships from the National Stadium. We're doing these previews from Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin, and Indianapolis, Indiana, on September 7th, just before the Worlds. I leave on September 9th. This will be my 15th World Championships, and I'm being supported and sponsored by Nike Running. Special thanks to our friends Brett Holtz in sports marketing and Tony Bignell in innovation in Nike Running. I've worked with Nike since 1985. I'm really happy with the new shoes they've got coming out, the Vomero 18, the Vomero Plus. The Pegasus Plus is a perfect running shoe for high schoolers, and I really encourage you to check them out at NikeRunning.com. But please, 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 when you look at Nike running shoes and other running products, go to your local running store. Support the important part of our culture, Nike retail running stores and the specialty running channel. It's very, very important. This is on RunBlogRun at runblogrun.com. This will be my 15th World Championships. And again, thanks to our friends at Nike for getting me to Japan. Talk to you soon. Hey, sports fans, Larry Eater here. This is Conversations with Larry, the preview of day 9, the final day of the 2025 Tokyo World Outdoor Athletics Championships held in the National Stadium in Tokyo, Japan. I will be there, driving you crazy with my prognostications and other weird stuff and, asides and sushi and other things. There will be always adventures. There's always an adventure. This will be my 15th World Outdoor Athletics Championships, and I'm looking forward to going. I'm recording this on the 7th of September. I leave on the 9th, so cannot wait. Now, we've got a long, full day on day 9, chock full of exciting events. So let's begin. Morning session begins at 9:05 with event 6 of the decathlon. That is the 110-meter hurdles for those of you who did not know. At 9:55, Group A in the men's discus and Group B in the men's discus at 11:05. The event 7 in the decathlon at 11:35, that's Group A in the pole vault, and then Group B in the pole vault for the decathlon event 7 is at 12:20. Now, the decathlon pole vault is where a lot of athletes like Simon Ehammer, Kyle Garland will just go to these incredible heights because they make point after point after point after point, and that's where the event should really start gelling, and it'll be very interesting to see event 7. Okay, so let's get to the evening session now because we'll have a long one. The Javelin, which is event 8 in the decathlon, Group A starts at 5:35, Group B at 6:47. Again, Javelin, big events for Kyle Garland, for Simon Ehammer, for many of the top decathletes who are very, very proficient at their in the throws. Now, we're going to final. At 7:30, the women's high jump final. Nikola Olislagers, Yara Slava Mahuchik, Morgan Lake, possibly Vashti Cunningham. It's going to be interesting to see, but there will be someone who will surprise. And but I think it's Nicola's event to win or lose. At 7:35, the women's 800 meters. Keely Hodgkinson, 2 races before the World. She didn't race for 376 days. Obviously trained because she opened with a 154.74. She's fit. Georgia Hunter Bell, Great Britain, who just ran a 155.9. Audrey Wirrow, who ran a 155, was it 8:1? I'm trying to get the times down correctly, and I may be smoking the crack pipe there. Royson Willis from the U.S., Royson could win this whole thing. And Keely knows that she's got to be in her top form and just keep it all together. It'll be interesting to see how Keely goes through the rounds. There's days between those rounds in the 800, but it should be a fascinating event. So after the women's 800, the men's 5,000 meter final. Um, this is going to be really interesting. Um, Cole Hawker, where is he going to be? Grant Fisher, Nico Young, um, Salman Barega. Um, who is going to shock us? This race typically is incredibly painfully slow for the first 2 kilometers to 3 kilometers, and then people go insane. Will the Ethiopians team up? Will the Kenyans team up? Will it matter? Grant Fisher has medaled in the 5 and the 10 at the Olympics. Nico Young has the fastest time in the world at the 5,000 and beat Grant in the 10,000. Cole Hawker has 1,500 speed. Niels Laroche, is he going to come back in the 5,000? We're going to have to wait and see. It's going to be really interesting. The men's discus throw is at 8 o'clock. Miklas Alekna, Christian Shea. Could it come down to those two? Daniel Stahl. Is Daniel Stahl going to pull it all out for Sweden? It'll be really interesting to watch. At 8:25, the men's 4x4 meter relay final. That is going to be an event to behold. Can we get a new world record? I don't know. Who's going to be on the U.S. team? Bry Benjamin, Vernon Norwood, Jackery Patterson. Who's going to be number 4? It's going to be very, very interesting. You're going to have to wait and see. The women's 4x4. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. How motivated will she be? I think she'll be very motivated. Is it Delilah Muhammad? Who else will be in there? I don't know. Anavia Battle? It's going to be really interesting in the women's 4x4. Femke Bol and her team, they're not going to give up easily. Are they fighting for the silver? Are they going for the gold? It's going to be really interesting to see. Men's 1,500 meters event 10 for the decathlon. Boy, I miscounted, didn't I? I said Javelin. Yeah. Oh, boy, I messed that one up, right? But I am really off on my game. So the Javelin is the 9th event of the decathlon. I think I called it the 7th. Let me just go through and double check again and just make sure I told everybody. So the 110 hurdles, event 6, the discus throw, event 7, the pole vault, event 8, the javelin, event 9, and the 1,500 event 10. Sometimes Larry has to count. It's new math. Okay, my apologies to Dr. Zarnowski and Harry Mara and Fred Samara. I don't want to get, or Dan O'Brien, and I don't want to get or Ashton Eaton because I worshipped them all and don't want to mess that one up. But the 1,500 meters at 8:55, event 10 of the decathlon. You got to get through it, baby. Or as Steve Forbert said, you can't play if you don't, or you can't win if you don't play. And this is going to be a gut wrencher. This is going to be tough. It's going to be very, very close, I think, in the men's deck. The final events of the 2025 Tokyo World Outdoor Athletics Championships will be the 4x1 relays. The women's is at 9:10. Now, the U.S. team, more than likely, will all be from the same training group under Dennis Mitchell. It's going to be very interesting to see how they perform. Sha'Carri Richardson, T.G. Terry, Melissa Jefferson Wooden. It's going to be really, really interesting. Who can battle them? Great Britain? Great Britain has a great team. They can get the baton around. That's key. U.S. team should be able to get the baton around. That's going to be fascinating. Now, the final event at 9:20. I think the Japanese team, I think the Chinese team, I think Team Great Britain, I think Team Canada, of course, Canadian team, they know how to do it, baby. They have delivered on many occasions. The U.S. team, can they get the baton around? Have they qualified for the final? We don't know any of these things. But if they're there and they get that baton around, we could see something special. But the Japanese would love to win the whole thing. This would be huge news. The Chinese team, too. The Canadians, oh my gosh, there'd be a lot of maple syrup drank in Canada and, salmon eaten and all that kind of stuff. And I love my Canadian friends. I say this with all respect. The Canadian team knows how to get a baton around. The U.S. does too. It's just challenging sometimes. So it'll be interesting to watch. But this is the final of the previews. This is day 9 for the 2025 Tokyo World Outdoor Athletics Championships at the National Stadium. It's going to be from September 13th to the 21st. We'll have these up each and every day. The previews of the 2025 Tokyo World Outdoor Athletics Championships are sponsored by our friends at Nike, NikeRunning.com. Check out the Vomero 18, the Vomero Plus, the Pegasus Plus, the Pegasus Premium, the Air Structure 26, the Pegasus 41. But please go to your local running store, the height of running culture, and ask for one of the shoes. Try them all on. And watch the Nike NXN this fall. We'll be doing a series called Journey to Compete, which will be beginning early this next week. Okay. So thank you very much for watching our previews. We'll have a nightly review from Tokyo. Our previews, all our podcasts are managed and produced by the one, the only Mike Deering, who has put up with me for, my God, many, many years. I've warped this poor young man, and but he's a good guy, and he's a Packers fan, and I sure hope the Packers are winning the game still against Detroit. Okay, but this is Coffee with Larry, or not Coffee with Larry. This is Conversations with Larry, and this is the end of our previews of the 2025 Tokyo World Outdoor Athletics Championships. Thank you for watching and listening.